Okay.
Yep. We'll call to order the July 23rd Committee of the Whole meeting. Craig, would you like to say the prayer?
Sure. Father, we just thank you for letting us be here tonight. Thanks for the rain to help our plants and our crops. Just pray for guidance tonight and the decisions we make and make it for a better tomorrow. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Stand for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now, if you don't vote, then is the meeting over? No.
Roll call.
Rothschild.
Here.
Kennett.
Here.
Swanson.
Here.
Barnhart.
Here.
Roothouse. James.
Here.
Samowski. Arnold.
Here.
All right, we have a quorum. Mayor Johnson is not in attendance tonight. Item number 4 is election of Keith Kennett.
Motion to elect Keith Kennett as Mayor Pro Temp for the 7/23/24 Committee of the Whole meeting.
Second.
Arnold first, second by Barnhart. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Welcome, Mayor Pro Tem.
Okay, well, we'll get this moving along. First with public comments. City ordinance allows members of the public to speak and give input up to 3 minutes during public comment. There can be no debate or action by the city council at this time. So any public comment, and it would be pretty much you. Okay. Well, with that, we'll move on to mayor's comments. Sean didn't share anything with me that he particularly wanted to have shared. And then we'll move on to city council comments. All right. Then city administrators' comments.
All right, couple of reminders. National Night is coming up the first Tuesday of August. I know that Casey, I think, reached out to you guys all individually, but if you have not told Casey that you're willing to volunteer under the shelter that night, please let him know ASAP, or Jamie. Let either one of them. Yeah, that'll be the dessert service under the Kiwanis Pavilion for that night.
Grilled hot dogs too, right? Because Keith and I served hot dogs.
Yeah, we have hot
Yeah.
dogs and
Yeah.
cake items, snack items,
Yep.
cookies.
Either at 5:30, I think.
Be there by 6?
No, be there about 5:45 and it starts at 6.
So
8 o'clock.
Or we run out.
Okay.
Which we have done the last couple of years. We have run out of hot dogs and everything else. It's been great. A lot of attendance.
All right. Also, the Illinois Municipal League Conference. This is going to be last call on registration. Right now, I have 2 confirmed for sure. Need to make sure I've got Martin and Paula just give me the final confirmation. We'll get you signed up. And then I've got Swanson and Barnhart as attending. If anybody else wants to attend, please let me know. I'll be putting in that registration tomorrow. And then we have the chamber annual dinner coming up. I believe this is next Thursday, August 1st, next Thursday. Please let me know if you would like to attend this. We get a table of 10 every year. The city pays for council members to attend this dinner. If you want to bring a spouse, Carla will invoice you for the spousal attendance.
It's drinks around 5:30.
5:36, I think cocktail.
Like 5 to 8 somewhere.
Yeah,
Yes.
Kelowna. Correct.
No place else big enough in the
Yeah.
game to stay on.
I think it's still technically Geneseo, isn't it?
Yeah,
Well, they're part of the chamber, so.
Yeah.
The chamber's not just for Geneseo.
yep. So let me know about that. That's it.
Okay, finance director comments. Jamie?
So attached is the tie-up from the audit. I do have the rounding there and the page numbers that the items can be found from. So the first column, opening balance, is actually pulled directly from Civic, which is our system. And then I just matched it up with the audit rounding and the page numbers that the item can be found on. And then the next one is going to be all the other funds aside from the general fund. And it's got the page number again that it can be found on.
Jamie, I know these numbers fluctuate constantly with what bills come in and go out. Are we healthy? Are we doing well? I guess that's all to me it boils down to, are we where we think we should be?
I would say yes, everywhere except for, I feel like the enterprise funds do need to have a little bit more balance in them, just in case there's emergencies, more specifically the electric department.
I mean, one storm can always knock us out. We're gonna need to be able to, rebuild what we currently have until insurance kicks in.
But yeah, we're definitely doing very well in the general fund and moving in the right direction with the enterprise fund.
So if, then I'm just gonna play devil's advocate, if we had an emergency and we didn't have the money to fully fund what needed to be done, could it be pulled from the general fund on a temporary basis until the insurance comes back?
Correct.
Okay,
This has to be paid back within that year.
okay. Just want to make sure I understand the game. Thank you.
We will be talking about the electric PCA and electric rates in an upcoming meeting as well before we go into next budget year. No, there's not.
Okay, well, moving on to administration, 10.1 facade improvement grant, Central Theater.
Okay, this is a facade improvement grant submitted by Central Theater. Central Theater is owned by Central Bank, and they lease the space to the Geneseo Park District. They have jointly applied for a facade grant. This is under the Downtown TIF program. They're going to be doing improvements to the brickwork, painting, get things to kind of match up with the Central Bank recent facade improvements there. Some of the poster boards, some of their signage, they have estimates at $5,600. So this would be an item that we would, if it's moved forward, to reimburse up to $2,800. This is compliant and with the intent of the Downtown TIF facade program.
I'll make
Motion. Go ahead.
make a motion to recommend to city council the facade improvements grant application from Central Bank for facade improvements at 111 North State Street up to 2,800 in reimbursable expense and to place on the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, motion by Barnhart, second by Arnold. Roll call vote.
Arnold,
Yes.
James,
Yes.
Roothouse, Barnhart,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Rothschild.
Yes.
Okay, 10.2, discussion of water department vacant lots RFP process.
All right, flashback to the May Committee of the Whole. We had a discussion about the potential sale of the 2 lots that the water department currently owns just east of the old train depot here right across the street. We've had discussion with council about what this process could look like. There was direction to get appraisals on the lots, which we did. At this point, after discussion, we're putting this measure to the council to push out RFPs for proposals for potential buyers and bidders on the 2 vacant lots. So these would be proposals that wouldn't just hinge on low bid price only. If you opened up the attachments, the documents walk through the process for anybody who's interested, and they would have to lay out a plan and a proposal on usage of the parcels. We have the ability then to review those once they're submitted and have a discussion about what we think would be best to accept if we get any proposals. And
You mean high bid price or you said low bid price?
yeah, so the proposals, we wouldn't just have to accept the low bid price.
A high bid price.
The high bid price. Thank you. The highest bidder.
Sorry, I'm just making sure that.
We wouldn't just have to accept the highest bidder. We can take into consideration all those other factors on usage and what council feels is appropriate for those funds. Thank you for that.
I missed it.
So we got kind of a schedule laid out here that Jamie opens up the agenda cover sheet. You can see tonight, consideration approval mid-August. We would advertise the RFP process to the public. Submittals due by 9/13. Bids are open at a special city council meeting after the cow on 9/24. We would then have a discussion after that, and we can talk about a bid selection at the 10/8 city council meeting then.
Brendan, I wasn't at the meeting because I was gone. I just have one question. The property that we're thinking about auctioning off. Oh, I'm sorry. The property that we're thinking about auctioning off. At one time, we had talked about holding those properties in case there was a building of the train station, if we're going to use that for different projects or, parking or whatever. Have we pretty much dismissed that as happening because nothing's happening?
No, we did talk about that in the previous meeting so I think you're thinking of the north side of the tracks, the city purchased all of that ground.
Right.
That's where we do the snow pile. That is all still being held for a potential train depot, which includes, I believe it's like 47 parking spaces. It's all in the design. It's designed through the state's process. The city is committed to providing that land if the train ever happens and the depot happens. So we still have that on the north side. These are two smaller lots. They're, I think, 0.22.
Martin, Can I answer his question, I think? Because I had similar concerns and I said, instead of us putting these up for bid, should we hold on to them so Brandon could tell potential developers who contact him about it? And again, Dirk, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the answer was even if if we held on to them and a developer came to us and said, hey, I'd like to build a retail or a condos with I think of our perfect scenario, we would still have to then turn it around and put it back up to bid. And there may be developers out there right now who, if they saw this, would come forward. So that, I'll just let you know, that kind of swayed my own because I was like, well, let's not sell it until we have someone, and even though there are potentially a couple people who have expressed interest, but we can't, even if we held on to it, we'd still have to do a bid if someone, so at some point, we're still going to have to go out to bid. So I just letting you know, I don't know if that answers your question or not, but.
So we don't need to hold on to that property for snow?
Oh, that's on the other side.
Well, maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe, yeah.
But we don't have to accept any bids that come in, right?
Don't have
If
to.
they want to put storage units up, we can say, no.
That can be part of the review process, I believe, as we previously discussed.
And how long do we hold on to that property when we realize that the train is not coming in?
I don't have an answer for that right now. I don't know.
Probably, if you ask the state, they'll say, we'll be in touch.
Pretty much.
So it could be forever.
No, I'll just call JB.
You go ahead,
I
Martin.
mean, that's a good question. I know.
Before
it's
he
off
becomes
topic.
president.
Do we have an agreement with state to say that we're going to hold on to that property for X number of years before or is it just a verbal thing?
No, they're just in negotiations still with the
Yeah.
Iowa
For sure. No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Railway.
Okay, but don't they have a certain amount of time before they say, you know what?
Probably not.
Never put any timeline on it.
Anyway.
I've never seen it.
I don't believe so. As of what we're being told right now, the money is still allocated and it was fully designed and we're on hold until they can finish their negotiations, whenever that's going to be.
I'm just saying, when you hold on to those two properties, plus you've got the other side that's all developable, that makes it a lot more attractive, I think.
Yeah.
Motion to recommend to city council the RFP process as presented for city-owned parcels 082120700 and 082120773 or 7003.
Second.
Okay, motion by Arnold, second by James. Roll call vote.
Rothschild,
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Roothouse. James.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Okay, 10.3, R-24-17, appointment of Dan Schaff to the Police Pension Board.
So this is mayor's recommendation for the police pension board open seat that was vacated by Jerica Minton. Minton? Yes. Yeah, resolution to recommend him to the board.
Motion to recommend R-24-17 to the city council meeting and to place on the consent agenda.
Second.
Motion by Arnold, second by Rothschild. Roll call vote.
Arnold.
Yes.
James.
Yes.
Roothouse. Barnhart.
Yes.
Swanson.
Yes.
Kennett.
Yes.
Rothschild.
Yes.
10.4, demolition permits discussion.
Okay, so we, last month, I believe, we passed the right-of-way permitting process, which means that anytime anyone opens up the ground in the city right-of-way, they have to get proper permitting. Public Works goes and inspects, make sure that things are done correctly, that concrete's put back in correctly. That was passed, so that led to a discussion here in the last week I had with Chad about our demolition permit process, which is, of course, anytime when somebody's tearing down a structure, they currently have to get a permit to do that, a demo permit. It's a very simple form right now. We have a very low $25 fee to do that. Anytime someone demos a property, they have to open up the right of way. So we started talking about probably need to redo the demolition permit, and instead of having people fill out multiple applications when they come in, could we just redo the demolition permit, beef it up a little bit, put the right of way requirements in the demolition permit along with the demolition information, and have one clean form for them to complete. The suggestion here is that we do that and redo the form, bring it back to the city council, and we increase the fee for a demolition permit to $200. Like I said, right now, the right-of-way permit fee is $100, demolition permit is $25. So that is $125 right now if you consider both combined. Through some discussion, we don't want to ask this to go way, way up, but $25 for the work that Public Works has to do, be out there on site, make sure sewer, water, electric meters got to be pulled. We're still shooting way under what labor costs come to for this, but we feel like $200 is a fair number to set it at.
Just a question. So like if I have a detached garage, so if I just, I'd have to get demolition permit, but there's no water to shut off or anything else. So why would that require a right of way?
It shouldn't because it's still in your own property. So the
Well, I'm
right-
just saying, you said every demolition permit requires a right of way permit as well. And I'm just like, why would it if there's nothing, no utilities to shut off?
Yeah.
And maybe that doesn't require a demolition permit, but
Rick, Chad, do you have any feedback on that?
It require a demo permit.
I mean, I don't think that $200 is unreasonable. I was just in my own mind questioning, if you don't,
Nobody has to come out and check it. Do that.
There wouldn't be an inspection required on the utilities at that point, no.
the only thing I'm thinking about purely is, I'm even thinking about blighted property or something where we want someone to, and the cost to tear down a structure and haul it away, $200 is probably nothing. But is there an exception for, where we're actually wanting them to do this and suddenly this becomes hey, I can't even afford to hardly tear it down and now that's my only concern.
We did have that discussion about not increasing it more because of that. A lot of the demolitions that are currently going on are city-initiated processes, and so it is beneficial. But I don't know. Maybe there could be a two-tier system if a right-of-way opening is not required on the demo permit. 100 versus 200.
But wouldn't you have to send someone out anyway? What if they say, hey, I got nothing attached to it? Okay, that's their word. You don't know till someone comes out and looks at it.
You could still have underground or something else going through there too, electric.
You don't know. They could just tell you that so they don't have to
Phone.
pay the permit.
That's true.
I think it's, I mean, again, I agree with you. I do agree, we should be covering our costs, and $25 that's hardly gas anymore to drive out to the property across the city hall, so.
Yeah.
And what does it cost? You're saying it's still way under. What does it cost to send people out?
Well, it's gonna be their labor rate at straight rates. I mean, if we have to send a lineman out there, it's, you're talking, yeah, 50 something dollars an hour, 30 something, depending if it's chief water operator, depending on the position that's going out to do the
But if it's
inspection.
something that's blight, wouldn't you want to charge to cover yourself? So there's that incentive not to make it blight?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think if it's blighted and it needs to be demolished, we're gonna be in favor of it coming down and supporting, the demolition process.
Okay, but you still want them accountable. I don't want to take a loss because
Yeah.
they've let it go to hell and now we've got to tear it down.
We still need things done correctly, right?
Yeah.
That's part of why the inspection process is important for the utilities. Yeah.
I'd say come back to us with something else.
Yeah, do you guys have do you think a two-tier system on that would be, I'm looking to utilities on this. Yeah,
I think a lot of it for me is, this house would probably have overhead, cut some wire down, making sure it's safe. I mean, it would be on the homeowner to be able to disconnect all services to their house. That would be their requirement to contact NICOR or a plumbing company to disconnect water from the main.
I guess I'm saying, what if it's not a house? I'm just have an outbuilding that I want to demolish.
A lot of them have electricity set to them.
Yeah, it depends if it's past the meter. If it's past the meter, it's privately owned, we have nothing to say on that. But we do have some houses that have meters on their garage, and we would know that.
And just,
Eric, you said something about NICOR?
Yes. Yeah, the homeowner would have to disconnect their gas service.
All right, for the gas. All right, my fault.
Require the right of way to be open.
don't need an exact number, but just ballpark though, for a demolition permit, would most of them be for a residence? As opposed to a garage or an outbuilding or something, or do we do 2 a year, 20 a year-ish? Okay.
I think the price is so low because Brett was saying, most of the time we want the building down. So, try to make it harder for them to take it down and garden it.
Well, does that give you direction, Brandon?
Yeah, I can bring something back. We can have further
Something back.
discussion on it. I mean,
Totally different thought. It may be too much work, but building permits based on the size of the structure and number of blah, 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 blah. Is demolishing a garden shed different than demolishing Reese's home? That's, should be based on something. And again, I don't want to make it more complex. I'm truly just.
Yeah, and I would recommend bringing something back that covers the costs. We shouldn't do this at a loss. Yeah, you want it down, but you don't want to do it at a loss. That's not financially responsible.
But every.
Because they're probably not
every
going to pay it anyway. and You probably have to go to court
Every
over
single
it and
one's
blah,
gonna be
blah, blah,
totally
blah.
different. Everyone's gonna be totally different. So how do you come up with a median number for all the different types of tear downs? Is 200 a median number, or is it too high? Is it too low?
Well,
But I'm
he
just saying
said,
every tear down is going to be completely unique and different time wise.
I agree with that, but he said that at $200, it's still way under what it costs. So obviously somebody has to know what it costs. I think we should charge what it costs the city to do that. There's no reason we should charge under just to get it down. Do they pay it right away, or what if they don't even pay it?
Then they can't take it down.
have to pay it right away.
No, what have we taken it down? That's what I mean. So you might as well add all those fees in to make it worth our while and we're not giving them a discount to tear it down.
Everybody doesn't make the same dollar amount, so you
Yeah,
can
it's
have
all
a water
different.
operator that's a different class than another water operator that goes.
Yeah, but you could branch it as, okay, water operator, electrician, and just ballpark it and just say, this is what we're charging. But if you're nowhere near, I mean, if $200 is close to what it costs, fine. But if you're saying we're still way under, that's an issue.
However, if we are only doing 3 a year or, you
It's
know,
not, yeah, it's not. a
what
big
have
deal,
you, we
right?
may not also want to devote hours and hours of staff time trying to solve a problem.
But
that
what if it
isn't a
turns
problem.
into more? You know,
Across-
you're doing the stuff now, you set it up now so that it's there, so that the next administration or whoever comes in and looks at it and says, yeah, that's good.
You know, it could always be modified in the future if there is some excessive activity or, you know, demolition boom in town, but I would say you've had good input from us. Talk it over with staff and we would love to have a proposal.
Yeah, we'll come back with something. See what you think.
Okay, if without any more discussion on that, we'll move forward to payment of city and utility bills.
Motion to pay the bills as presented.
Is there anything worthwhile? I don't remember seeing anything.
Well, all of them are worthwhile.
Yeah, Paul over here.
There is nothing that is abnormal in there.
I feel like I should ask about the robotic service.
No, you should politics first.
I think we're all at that stuff.
God, do they talk like that about me when I'm not here?
Yeah.
Okay.
All the time, we're-
All right.
Okay, well, we have a motion by Arnold. Anyone with a second?
Second.
Second by Swanson. Is it an all in favor or a roll call?
Roll.
Roll call vote, please.
Rothschild,
Yes.
Kennett,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Roothouse, James,
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Okay, public comment. We again look to Ann. If not, I won't read then the follow-on statement for that unless we're required to. And with that, number 13, adjournment.
Motion to adjourn. Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No, and we wait until the fourth one before you do that.
Okay, thank you everyone for attending tonight.